To this day.
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 Hey, yo, Andy. Hey, it's time out for the games now, buddy. Let's get this fight on, man. Hey, we offer you a hell of a lot of money. Now, one thing I don't want you to allow others to dictate your career at this moment in time. It's only a short period of time that you have. You gotta man up to responsibility, because if you allow others to dictate your life at this point in time, you're gonna end up with nothing. Zero. Broke, my man. Okay? So make wise decisions. Time to wait on you about this situation. We offer you a lot of money, and I think you should take it. One thing I don't want you to do, though, is to allow others to dictate your career at this moment in time, bro. You only have a limited time left to make as much money as you possibly can. And don't allow others to interfere with this. You make the decision. It wouldn't be fair to you nor your kids that you miss out on zero because you allow others to interfere with your career at this moment in time. So think about it, bro. Hey, let's get this thing done, man. Let's get it signed, sealed, and delivered. As I said once again, I'm sick and tired of sitting around, man. Let's get the people what they asking for, what they want. Enough is enough. Balls in your court now, baby. Let's get it. I'll see you soon, man. Hey, let's toast it up. I'm feeling blue.
And those are the words of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder as he gives Andy Ruiz somewhat of a deadline, and he reiterates that he's offered him a lot of money and he doesn't have time to wait, and he employs him not to make a mistake of allowing other people to dictate his career. And let me counterpunch. For one, I would like to know how much money is a lot of money. You know, how much money is considered a lot of money for Andy Ruiz that already had an all-time high? So is it more than that? Is it in between? Is it much more than what his last fight was? You know, what is it? Because, you know, curiosity here is burning everybody up to know exactly how much Andy Ruiz is making. However, whatever it is, I think Andy Ruiz needs it, you know, and obviously if we hear Deontay Wilder go from one day like, hey, the ball's in your court, the clock is ticking, to the very next day, 24 hours later or less, we hear Deontay saying, hey, time's up. That tells us something is going on behind the scenes that needs to be rectified and fast. Now, we've heard Deontay Wilder mention Andy's father, which is his manager, as I talked about live today. Thanks everybody that showed up to that particular live stream, but it has to be something on the lines of his father becoming somewhat of a barricade, because Deontay Wilder mentioned it. And then he also mentioned other people dictating your life. So we're assuming that that's the same person, his father, Andy Ruiz Sr., that's calling the shots and, you know, looking at the paperwork, him and whoever. And I think that Andy Ruiz, if he wants this fight, he has to probably pull some strings to make sure certain things happen, maybe beyond the wishes of his father to do his job, because, you know, his father is also the guy that got Manny Robles out of the picture. Okay, it wasn't Andy Ruiz directly. It was Andy Ruiz Sr. that came to Manny and told him his services were no longer needed. Now, is he saying that this particular offer is not warranted? And that's the reason why Deontay Wilder feels the need to do this. See, understand something about Wilder and Andy. They're not enemies. They're on the same team. They're both with Al Heyman, or they once was, okay? And they had no animosity towards each other whatsoever. You know, Deontay was one of the first people to praise Andy Ruiz when Andy Ruiz upset Anthony Joshua back in 2019. So there's no animosity. No, hey, I hate you. You make me sick. You're a bitch. You're a punk. You're scared. You're a coward. None of that. You know, that's why it's more cordial. But to see and to hear Deontay Wilder talk about, hey, you know, time's up, I don't have time to play around, it lets you know that something is going down. Bars. Listen, and I think Deontay Wilder is getting impatient. You know, he's the A side, and you know something about A side fighters. They don't really tend to have much patience these days. So whatever's going on with Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder, I hope it gets rectified, because for me personally, I just want to see these guys throw down. Andy needs to get paid. Wilder needs needs a fight this year, you know, to get his feet wet back into the sport of boxing after being off a year from knocking out Robert Helenius. So, you know, nonetheless, I would like to know what the offer was, you know. So you guys tell me what you think of Deontay Wilder in a short amount of time, calling out Andy Ruiz, telling him that he's running out of time and he doesn't have time to mess around. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.